Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Outside the Echo Chambers. We're coming to you today from the Frontier Studios down here at HD Media Headquarters, 1001 Virginia Street, downtown Charleston. Big shout out to the Media Center, Dan Shreve and Ethan, Maria Young, our producer, for putting this on. We're coming to you, as always, all our shows are archived at charlestongazettemail.com and the heralddispatch.com. Today we have an exciting show for you. There's a lot going on. You know, there's high school proms, there's graduation. We're trying to get back to normal. We're going to be talking to Superintendent of Schools here in Canal County, Tom Williams. We had a big ribbon cutting last week for the Canal County Public Library. I was there, well attended, fantastic facility. Can't wait to talk to the new director, Erica Conley, on that. But first, we're going to dive right in. Superintendent of Schools, Canal County, Tom Williams, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Hey, like I said, we have a lot going on, right?
Yes, it's been an interesting 2 years. I'm finishing up my second year as superintendent, so I came in with COVID. But we're getting things back to normal now. We're having graduations this week, and last night was Sissonville, earlier in the day with St. Albans, and we have 2 every night this week until Thursday. Seemed to be going fine. Yesterday's graduations went well. I think it's great for kids to be back and start doing some of the normal high school things. You know, we've had proms again this year, and we were able to have homecoming activities and things that we remember from high school and in middle school and elementary as well. But it's just really nice to start seeing kids be kids again.
Well, I saw a stat. There's almost 2,000 seniors in Canal County. Is that correct?
That's right.
And percentage of them, majority of them graduate? Or?
Yes. Our graduations rate is right around 87, 88% in 4 years. We have a 4-year cohort. But then, just as in higher ed now, it's difficult to finish in 4 years. Some kids don't finish in 4 years and come back for their 5th year. And we graduate most of the rest of them then.
Well, this is a resilient bunch, right? Like you said, they started, maybe as sophomores, I guess, during COVID.
That's right.
And they haven't really had a full year without COVID until now. Maybe this spring they just took the mask off.
Yeah, we were able to get rid of the masks earlier this year. And it's funny, you get so used to wearing them that when you would go out in the hallway and not have a mask on, you would almost feel like you were doing something wrong. But it's been rough on our kids. It's been rough on our teachers and school staff. We care so deeply about our kids, and you know, when you can't lay eyes on them and see actually what's going on with them, some of our kids don't come from the very best of a home life, and we need to be able to keep eyes on them to make sure they're okay. You know, we were able to feed during COVID. We missed very few days. Even when kids were on virtual, our buses would run. Our bus drivers and cooks would come in and fix the meals and get the food out there, and they would run the bus route, and kids would come to the bus route and pick up their food. And it's amazing how many depend upon the breakfast and lunch that we give them at school.
I know that was definitely key, what you guys did there to make sure the children were fed. And you talked about virtual learning, you know, a little online. I know over the last couple of years you had to offer that too. I mean, how much did that play a part into not only seniors graduating with a lot of e-learning and virtual learning tools? You know,
virtual learning was something, excuse me, that we obviously had to go to. We were well prepared. We were pretty much one-to-one, 4th grade through 12th. We found devices for our K-3, and now we're one-to-one pre-K-12. But we were set with devices, and our teachers had to flip, and from in-person learning to virtual learning, literally. And so we at the county level tried to provide sample lessons and would work with the teachers and do staff developments on, you know, how do you do this? How do you, take attendance? How do you make sure kids are there? And those kinds of things. But
teachers, Ben, you got to give them a medal of honor.
Our teachers were absolutely incredible. They did a fantastic job. All of our school staff did, working with our kids, trying to make sure they had what they needed. Nothing will ever take the place of an in-person teacher. And so this year, we still have our virtual school for anyone who's interested in doing that. We have right around 700, I think, in virtual school this year, which is down considerably. But just having kids back in the buildings. And
Yeah.
second semester, school started to open up a little, and parents could go in and start volunteering again and doing some of those things on a limited basis. So.
What about, my friends down there at Herbert Hoover? They've been through a lot,
Oh, my.
So how close are they to getting their school back and open?
Herbert Hoover is going like gangbusters. The building is phenomenal. It's going to be really, really nice. We're hoping to get in at some point second semester next year. We're taking a tour of it on June 9th with the board, our board, if you all would like to come. And it's just so exciting to see. They've been in portables close to, when was the flood, 16, 17, something like that?
That's correct, yeah.
So they've been in portables. We've had classes graduate that were never in a building.
They had portables, and they had to deal with COVID, and they had to deal with moving, and then e-learning. They had a bunch of stuff.
They've had a bunch going on. And the same with students at Elkview Middle, because the Elkview Middle kids have had to share their building with the Hoover kids as far as meals and the gym and that kind of thing. And then we have our students from Clendenin that are also without a school and are also in portables. And so the little ones at Clendenin they've adjusted extremely well also. And, we've had some issues on that site, and we hope to, as I say, start throwing dirt around again in mid-June. We hope to start again with the construction of that building, and hope to get them in a year or so as well.
Well, hey, I know it's interesting times, and it's that new normal we always talk about,
Yes.
isn't that for sure? But the Canal County school systems and the whole state school systems as well, and how our students deal with this and getting through the pandemic is great. Hey, listen, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about tools and what you're doing to help get students into the workplace,
Okay.
and things you're partnering with, and in addition to the new public library and what that means to Canal County schools.
Okay.
We'll be right back on Outside the Echo Chamber.
We know who we are, where we've been, where we're going. Like hospitals all over America, we are changing, redefining, restructuring ourselves to be the best community health system in the region we serve. We are 2 hospitals with more than 30 locations, 450 providers, and 1 mission: to heal. As one, we are Thomas Health, caring for our communities today and tomorrow.
Proudly advocating for workers and their families, the West Virginia AFL-CIO is a group of 600 labor organizations representing 70,000 active and 70,000 retired union members. We represent first responders, healthcare workers, educators, coal miners, construction workers, plant workers, truck drivers, grocery store clerks, and every job in between. We believe every worker has the right to fair wages, good benefits, and a safe workplace. That's what the West Virginia AFL-CIO fights for every day.
A new day begins, and what happens today must be covered, reported, and passed on to everyone in the region we serve. We are journalists, staff writers, editors, storytellers. Who are we? We are HD Media, trustworthy and always here for the times we live in.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Welcome back on Outside the Echo Chamber here. I'm your host today, Doug Scaff, with Superintendent Canal County Schools, Tom Williams. You hear a lot about the opioid crisis and foster care and lack of jobs and opportunities for students. And I want to shift gears now to Tom and talk about what are some programs, what are some unique programs that we're doing here in Canal County to help prepare students for the workplace?
Well, we have a couple in place right now. We have agreements with Dow Chemical, and we just had 2 kids that will be doing internships with Dow Chemical. But we've also just begun, and we had a signing, so to speak. When athletes sign with a college or whatever, they have a signing ceremony. And we did the same thing with these kids from Toyota. It's called our 4T Academy. And last Thursday, we had the signing. We have 22 students. from 6 of our 8 high schools, and we're working on getting more students from the 2 that aren't represented yet. But they'll come in as juniors, their junior year, and will take courses at Ben Franklin in manufacturing. And then 1 day a week they'll spend at the Buffalo plant, at Toyota plant in Buffalo. And then their senior year, they will spend 4 days a week at the Buffalo plant. And their second semester senior year, they will have a paid internship, which is critical because, you know, a lot of our students, especially our older kids, help support their families. And we're always looking for ways to keep our young kids here in West Virginia. And this is one way that once they finish their paid internship, assuming they've done everything they need to do, they can move right on into a position at Toyota plant. And what a wonderful opportunity for kids.
That's great. Is this just new? Is it just started?
It's
or is
just new. They have a program like this in Indiana. And we have copied that program and brought it here to Canal County. Nicole McCarty, our vice principal at Ben Franklin, has been real involved with this, as is Dr. Allenbacher and Kim Saladay. All 3 of them have worked really hard to bring this program here, and Toyota has been absolutely fantastic.
And they continue to grow down there too.
And they continue to grow, and you know, we're the county that they're working with right now. The president of Toyota West Virginia was at the signing last week.
Oh, that's great.
And the parents were invited. They had lunch for them, and it was just really a neat opportunity. And I think the kids are young now. They don't understand maybe the opportunities, but we had one child from one of our schools that when he first heard about it, because they did a presentation at all 8 of our high schools, and he said, "This is a game changer for me. This will change my life." And you know, when you hear things like that, when you hear a young man talk about things like that, he's wise beyond his years, and it's incredible.
We do so much to educate our youth and to get them prepared, but then when you take that next step, so it's not just going to high school, it's going through high school to somewhere.
College and career ready.
College and career ready. And I think that's what we need to do our part to keep our best and brightest and all of our students here in West Virginia.
That's right.
Give them a job. So it's a great program. Say, talk about real quick, we're getting ready to go into summer. We're talking about like programs that you have maybe in the summertime to keep kids well. Talk about your summer school programs or CTE programs or anything that you got going to prepare
We
kids.
do have summer school again. We have about 2,000 kids signed up. We put the sign-ups out in March. And it's really neat for our middle school kids this year. What they'll be doing is they'll be going to the Career Center, or in the Ben Franklin area, kids will go to Ben Franklin. Carver, they're having some construction, so we're moving the CTE equipment to DuPont this summer.
Okay.
And our middle school kids will be able to go through CTE courses and see if that might be something they would be interested in high school. Our elementary kids will have, instruction and field trips and to the Clay Center and to Ace Adventure and some of these other places along with their academics. And then our high school kids will be working on credit recovery and some things they need to do to get caught up. For example, during COVID, some of the kids, we lost some and we had to bring them back and get them caught up on their credits. And so that'll be an opportunity for our high schoolers to get caught up on their credits so they'll be able to graduate. No,
this is great, and I can't imagine during COVID what everybody went through. Was retention a little, trying to keep students back coming through COVID? Was retention down a little bit, or?
We didn't have as much retention during COVID, but we see that we're probably about 2 years behind.
Okay.
And we're not going to get caught up in a year.
Yeah.
This year we were working and doing everything we can, and we've made a good dent on it. But it's going to take the next year and a half to get kids back to where they need to be.
Well, what about staffing? What about teachers and staffing? That's always an issue. Trying to get more teachers.
It is an issue, and the State Department this year has given us an option. It's called Grow Your Own.
Okay.
And we're able to kids in their junior and senior year of high school will take certain courses that local universities will put out for them, and they'll take them at their school, and then they'll go on to college, and then so they'll basically get their first year of college out of the way in high school. Their second year of college will be at the actual on-site, like at WVU. they'll take courses there, and then their third year, they'll do a year-long student teaching, and they'll come back to Canal County, for example, and do student teaching. So we usually have problems that are more rural schools. Teachers don't want to travel that far, so kids that are at Sharon Dawes, maybe in that area, or Riverside, Andrews Heights area in St. Albans, they'll be able to go back to those schools and do their student teaching, and we'll be able to hire them. So it's a great, great program, and we're really excited about it.
That's great, because we're always worried about the future and the staffing issues and having enough students going into teaching.
Keep our young kids here in West Virginia.
Hey, before I let you get out of here, we had a big ribbon cutting last week. You were involved at the ceremonies. A fantastic, beautiful building. Our Canal County Library just opened in downtown Charleston. Talk about the shared resources and what that means to the Canal County Public School System.
I think, you say library and schools in the same sentence almost, and the resources that are now available and the folks that the kids can go in and talk to. The library is not like the library that I grew up with in South Charleston. It's it's modern, obviously. The technology is there. You can you can check out tools.
Oh, wow.
They have makerspace where kids can make things and create things. You can do podcasts there. They have a little coffee shop. It's just all kinds of meeting space, all kinds of things that our kids can go in and do research and have the librarians work with them. It's truly, it's above the cutting edge. It's just a phenomenal place, and I encourage everyone to go see it.
Is that something you do, like field trips to, or students and whatnot with the kids?
Our kids will be involved with it. We're actually going to have a few meetings there this summer with our principals so that our principals can see the facility. And then they'll know what is available so they can talk to their teachers. Our teachers could take field trips there, absolutely. And it's just truly...
You got to see it to believe it.
You have to see it to believe it. And I'm so thankful that they kept it in the building they're in, because that structure, they've been able to incorporate on the inside of the building some of the features that were... They didn't do away with the outside features of the building.
No,
the old stone is still there, and it's just really nice.
It's impressive to see. I encourage everyone to get down there and see it. So
I
listen,
do too.
Hey, I know you got a busy thing. You got a lot going on with graduations full swing now with every school here in the county. Thanks for being on our show.
Sure, anytime.
We'll have you back again and talk about everything that's going on in this great program. Can't wait to hear about the 4T and the Toyota program and the successes we have. Tom, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Doug.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, speaking about the library, Erica Conley, the new director of our brand new library here in Canal County.
The relationship between a lawyer and a client is based on trust. You have to make certain that the lawyer you hire has your best interest at heart. We typically meet our clients at the worst times of their lives, and it's our job to help them. Over the years, we've been entrusted with some of the biggest cases in West Virginia. That's because we have a track record of success and getting exceptional results. We built a reputation as one of the go-to law firms throughout the state of West Virginia.
Joining me, high-profile lawyer Ben Salengo. Ben, it's a real honor to have you on.
In fact, many of our cases come from other lawyers. Lawyers who've worked with us, lawyers who've worked against us, and even those who've merely heard of our results. We're proud of the reputation we've earned in the community for providing exceptional, aggressive legal representation. When you hire my law firm, you don't get excuses. You get results.
People keep asking me how Todd Judy Ford has the best selection of vehicles at a time of national shortage.
The secret is our 130% of Kelly Blue Book for your trade-in.
Everyone wants to trade the car with us and get more money.
And now we're making it even better.
We will beat any other dealer's trade offer by $1,000 guaranteed.
If we can't beat it, we'll just give you the cash.
So bring in that car, upgrade your vehicle, and get top dollar for your trade-in now.
Just go to ToddJudyFord.com and see for yourself.
Here in West Virginia, we're known as hard workers, friendly faces, and people with a caring spirit. At Summit Community Bank, those qualities are at the core of all that we do. We're a group of experienced professional bankers that you've known for many years. We work hard to earn your business and will work even harder to help you succeed. We customize banking solutions that work for you. We're Summit Community Bank. Service beyond expectations.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Outside Your Echo Chamber. I'm your host today, Doug Scaff, and well, what a show. I'm telling you, if you think books are the only thing you see at your public library, well, you haven't been to the Canal County new public library. Phenomenal structure, and I'm so excited to have with us today Erica Conley, the new director. What, just over a week now, Erica, it's been open?
A week, yes.
All right. Well, hey, welcome to the show here, and we like to have people on and talk about all that's happening and take a deeper dive into things around the community here. Well, your library is just something to see. You did the ribbon cutting, what was it, last week?
Last Monday, yeah.
And a phenomenal event, and we talk about this renovation, talk about the process, and being a new director.
Well, you know, I am a West Virginia library director for almost 30 years, but I'm new to Charleston, so I was excited to move here from the Fairmont, Morgantown area. This project is why I moved to Charleston. It was just phenomenal to be a part of a library transformation. It's the heart of the community. It was a great experience. It took 25 years for the Library Foundation and our board to raise the money. It was a $27 million effort, privately funded from the foundation. We did secure some public monies through New Markets tax credits at about $4 or $5 million. So this was a $32 million project with the majority of it privately funded. So that's really an anomaly in the U.S. to have that much private donations for a public building.
I'm telling you, it's amazing. I took my kids there this weekend. They were there Saturday morning before I know you had a big open house,
Yeah.
and there was a bunch of people. You've been setting records right now, people coming to see it?
We are. We're close to anywhere between 700 to 1,000 people a day just in the first week. So we're going to try to keep up that momentum and that excitement. I think people are curious to see what's been going on for a couple of years.
I'm official there. I got my public library card right here. You can see it. So I've got all three of my kids. I have a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old, and they're all new library card holders. So listen, we talk about this building for a minute. It was an old post office. It was an old building, but we did a lot to preserve the beauty of this old structure and modernize it.
Yeah, there was a lot of care, I think, to restoring the building.
There's a picture of the outside there. That's your ribbon cutting ceremony
the
there.
windows themselves, so, you know, they had the old marble up in the 70s, so all of the arched windows were reopened. We spent several months gently power washing the entire outside to get it, nice and sparkling. Green limestone was hard to make, normal limestone. And the two new wings actually just sort of cushion around the old building. So when you're on the inside, you walk in and out of the new wing and into the old space, but you still see that outside from the inside, so it's wonderful to touch.
Talk about that on the left front there, that new side. Looking at the front of the library on the left side. I know what it is, but tell everybody how excited.
That is what we call the South Wing, and it has two great floors. So the both additions have given us 20,000 square feet. With that, on that south wing, we've got a cafe, which is wonderful to have some coffee and pastries and some salads and sandwiches throughout the day. It has our maker space. We call that the Idea Lab, innovation, design, engineering, architecture, and it has all of those tools that kids are just learning about for jobs to come in the future. Things like 3D printing, computer coding. We have robotics in there. I think, as earlier mentioned, we have 2 recording booths for podcasts, to record music. We have all the software that we can train you to use those technologies. So there's a lot of cool
I was
going to
say, kind of take us through the building. So when you walk in, you see books. I mean, you still have a lot of, how many books are there? Any guess?
We have about 180,000 volumes within that facility.
There's a picture right there. Look
Yeah.
at those new racks. I mean, they're unbelievable. It's just really modern the way that it looks. And so you walk in and you see books and all this, and then you kind of take us through in your coffee shop, and the cafe's to the left, right?
Yep, to the left, with the Idea Lab further left.
And then you have what's a kids area?
This is the 4th floor. This is a great space.
That's where I took my kids. You have a lot of computers there where they can play. They type in your library
And there's a
number.
play center. We also have a room for nursing and a sensory room. We are back on the 1st floor, so this is off the Idea Lab. This is our teen space, and this has been a wonderful.
Yeah, I saw that. So
room.
that's you say teens like 13 to 18, right? That's
you got it. The teens are there. They're playing video games. It's a safe space for them they can play video games, play board games. There's computers there for them for research
Yeah.
or for browsing.
I know my 6-year-old was trying to break in there. I said, no, you got to go upstairs, the fourth floor. Now, this right here, this is the, what's it?
This is the Idea Lab, and this is our librarian there. Her name's Bianca, and she's demonstrating augmented reality. So you wear special glasses, and what you're looking at the computer screen sort of pops out, and you're manipulating and controlling it. And there's a few great programs with the augmented reality.
I mean, this is high tech at its best. I mean, unbelievable. I'm telling you, and right here, my kids played this. What do you call this? The light board?
I play with this. So this is our children's gallery. We still have a little bit of furniture and things to go there, but this is an interactive light board. You just dial colors and you create together. You make designs. So the
there's a lot of like hands-on stuff here at this, and also. Here's the tool room you were talking about right here. Now you talk about people they can rent the tools out. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, the first people we had so many teasers about what was coming before we opened that we had people lined up the first day at the ribbon cutting just to check out some of the tools. We focused on a lot of small home improvement, outdoor garden improvement. This was one of our donors, actually, Diane Strong-Treaster and her family from Manpower. This was their
so wait a second.
idea.
Let me get this right. You got tools in the library that you can check out. Right?
We're great at organizing and cataloging things and lending them out. So libraries do have special collections across the U.S. Our tool library is something that we felt, it's really popular. Home improvement here in our state, and we loan tools that you may only need one time, and
well, I guess that's what I was going to go into. So explain to me the vision. So the vision of this library, it's so much more than just books and computers. I mean, talk about the vision and why. Well, there's so many different things like this.
We just went through a lot of cool features and things that we have in the library that makes us a community space, a space for learning, some cultural enrichment. We also have the books. We're still a library, so we have access to information and training. So I think there's a lot of cool old things that you would expect a library to do, but a lot of cool new things.
New things, right.
Yeah.
Well, it really is a gathering place now, and that, being right there in that location in the center of Charleston.
Yeah.
So talk about, you had an open house, talk about the response right now. You've had a tremendous amount of people come through so far.
It is. It's exciting to see people use the library again. With COVID and with our construction, we've missed the public, and I think they've missed us. So there's a lot of excitement post-construction of what's just in the library. We went from one meeting space that we could share with the public to almost 20.
Wow.
So there is just a wild response since the open house to book our meeting spaces. So we have like CPR training classes already booked, nursing test preparation. There's some training and some studying going on there. The Bench Bar Association. I mean, there's just tons of groups that are booking our spaces.
No, I mean, what's that mean to the community? It's way more than just a place for kids to come and rent books. It's a community gathering place, right?
It's a hub. It's a community living room, I think, as our foundation president often says. We have a lot of conversation spaces around the library, so you can grab a coffee or a drink, or you just sit and enjoy and talk and have small conversations. If you look outside as well, we created sort of a plaza area where, we have little cafe tables, we have lots of benches, so people are congregating on the grass. There's several yoga instructors are interested in
using the grass area.
Yeah, using the grass area for yoga.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, it's phenomenal. My kids loved it. On a Saturday morning, it was 80 degrees outside, and people were in the library just enjoying. They wanted to be inside the library, and that's something. It's great for the community, great time. The one space I wanted to tell you I really admired when you're looking over the street there, on the bridge that goes across to the parking garage. You actually have a meeting room right there, I believe.
Yes.
And it kind of looks down the street and watching traffic coming. That's a pretty neat sight.
I think it's our highest point in the building where you can see sort of all three walls are all glass, and you're kind of floating over Courier Street and Summer Street. And it's just wonderful to see the planes go by,
that's like you probably have, what, 10 or 12 people? What are different sizes of the meeting rooms? What would be the biggest?
Our smallest study rooms go from 4 people, and then our largest seats 280.
200? Oh, geez.
We have 20 to 40 person meeting rooms as well. So a lot of our rooms can be divided to make even smaller conference spaces.
Well, I got to ask, so where does this put us? I mean, this is phenomenal for Charleston. Where does this rank, though, in the country on new, cool, innovating libraries? Are we ahead of the game? Are people going to come and say, I want to be like Canal County Library?
You know, we have the opportunity to dream and to imagine what our community library would be like. So I think this puts us well ahead of other libraries in the nation. I have vendors that come by and are just amazed that this is happening. They visit libraries, they sell information and technologies to libraries up and down the East Coast, and they've not seen, such an endeavor as ours. So
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah.
They're amazed.
Well, before I let you get out of here, I mean, we can't say enough, right, for all the donations, and a large part of this was from private funding. I know Tom Haywood, he opened the ceremonies, and he talked about how important it was for the community. You said 25 years in the making.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about that for a minute, just all the outcry of support from the private funding.
It just feels very warm that the community here in Charleston, I mean, it's an amazing feat to have contributed so much for so many years with this vision of a brand new library. They were very patient. We went through some trials and tribulations, but in the end, it was the heart of the community that helped start this project.
Well, big shout out to you. And hey, give us the hours real quick and when you're open.
Sure. On Monday through Thursday, we're open 9 to 8. Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5. Yeah, and we have drive-through hours that start at 8:30 every morning. So our drive-through, back by popular demand. We could not get rid of the drive-through.
Well, Erica, first up, welcome to Charleston, I guess, officially, in your new role. It's finally open. It's here. It's exciting. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for this new meeting space, this new sense of belonging for Charleston here, that it is something special. And if you haven't seen it, I'm encouraging everyone to go see it.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll have you back, and you can come and talk about the successes and all the thousands of people that have come through the library. So, hey, you heard it right there from Erica Conley, the new director of Canal County Public Library. We're going to take a quick break and wrap up when we come back on Outside the Echo Chamber.
A new day begins, and what happens today must be covered, reported, and passed on to everyone in the region we serve. We are journalists, staff writers, editors, storytellers. Who are we? We are HD Media, trustworthy and always here for the times we live
in. Here at Dutch Miller Jeep in South Charleston, we realize car shopping can be challenging right now. That's why we're committed to holding your hand through this process. Don't see the Jeep you're looking for on the lot? Then ask about the Dutch Miller Advantage, which means you can order the vehicle you want faster, direct from the manufacturer. It's no wonder we continue to be the #1 Jeep dealer in the state of West Virginia.
For a limited time during the Jeep Celebration event, make no payments for 90 days.
Text or chat now at DutchMillerJeep.com.
Looking for a friendly bank that you can turn to in your community? Bank where the decisions on your needs are made locally. With online banking and 7 locations. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us on Outside the Echo Chamber. Great show, and thanks to our guests. We had the Canal County Superintendent of Schools, Tom Williams, here, and all that's going on with graduation and proms and getting back to normal, the new normal. And big thank you to Erica Conley, the new director of the Canal County Public Library. And I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, go get your library card, take your kids, take your family there, or go have a meeting there. Like she said, it's a fantastic facility that you have to see. Charleston has definitely put us on the map as a world-class public library. Hey, once again, you can tune in. Watch our show archived, charlestongazettemail.com, heralddispatch.com. All our shows are archived out there. We come to you every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. for a new show. Send us your feedback. Send us an email at outsidethieechochamber@hdmediallc.com. Once again, we'll continue to bring inside depth and ideas and issues that face all West Virginia, and especially throughout our local community here. Once again, I'm proud to be your host, Doug Scaff. We'll see you next time on Outside the Echo Chamber. Go check out that library, everyone.